Welcome, everyone. So this is our first episode in a series that we've been thinking about doing to try to help answer as many questions as possible for new growers, and actually now that we've probably are going to learn some advanced growers
some
too.
good growers too, man.
Yeah. And so what we've done is we partnered up with the subreddit NoTillGrowery. We worked with their mods to post on there, and we're doing a giveaway. We're giving away on this episode, we're giving away an aerometer, some stickers, t-shirt, and a hat. And so what we're doing is we've got Matthew off camera. He has randomly picked questions that we don't know yet, and he's going to ask us these questions. He's going to read the username, and he's going to ask the question. We're going to answer to our best abilities. If we don't know the answer, we're just going to say we don't know and maybe direct you to somebody that does know, because we don't know everything.
Yeah, and if for some reason you find out, let us know. Put a comment, let us know, because I mean, we're all here to learn and get better.
It's just to have a good time, have fun. We're not here to be know-it-alls. We're just trying to answer questions.
Yeah, because we answer questions all day. We're a garden supply store. So this is what we do on the regular. We figured we might as well film it.
Yep. So let's start with our first question. Matthew?
Okay. I'm shuffling it right now.
Okay.
I have it printed out over
random.
here. Okay. So the first question is,
don't forget the username.
how do I, if it's in another language, what if it's like a bad
Matthew
word?
is Korean, just so you guys know.
Yeah, just say it. Say it. Let's do it.
Albino echidna? Okay. And the question is, what is your preferred dry mulching layer outside of straw?
Outside of straw, I like to use compost.
That's not dry though, that's wet.
Well,
that wouldn't be dry. He said
it's
dry.
a little woody.
No, I would say wood chips.
Yeah, wood chips.
I'd say straw and then wood chips.
That's
totally.
what I do.
Yeah, 100%.
And we just switched the outside too.
Let me get that.
Yeah, we just switched the outside garden to wood
Let me
chips.
get that question.
Yeah. Okay.
From straw to wood chips. And honestly, the true answer is, what do you have locally that you can get for cheap?
Yeah, because
That's the best
native,
answer.
man, is really the best.
Don't ship straw from us. Our sales just went down.
No, yeah, I mean it does. It's you're paying for shipping.
You are. It's not
Literally
worth it.
is what you're
Find
doing.
something local.
It sucks. There's better stuff local.
Yeah.
Always. Of course, our stuff is the best here locally, but for you guys, not
It's true.
everybody's in OKC.
Yeah. Next one.
Next question. Oh, must have cheap guitars. That's the username. And the question is, what are some methods to keep the soil surface moist to support the microbes?
That last question.
Yeah, the last question. Having a mulch layer.
They teamed up.
They must have. Having a mulch layer. We do prefer straw, absolutely. It's just easy to work with.
Yeah.
I said compost, but yeah, I really meant just wood chips.
But outside, I prefer wood chips. It doesn't blow away. It doesn't break down as fast. It helps fungal activity. There's a lot of benefits to it. But indoor straw, but make sure it's seedless.
Yeah.
Because most of the stuff you buy at a store is going to have seeds in it.
Yeah, and they spray the straw with pesticides and stuff, so you do want to make sure it hasn't been sprayed. So it can be a little tedious, but again, local is simply the best. And there's always small-time local farmers that might not be in the garden industry, but they might work on alpacas, for example.
Yep.
And you can just get it from them.
Yep.
And this person had an edit on the comment. It says, edit, found your YouTube channel and subbed.
Oh, dope.
So,
And
shout out to
if you
Must
haven't
Have Cheap
subbed,
Guitars.
Yeah, good
Man,
time.
these guys are just setting them up for us. If you
Nice.
haven't subbed, you should sub.
Must have cheap guitars.
Let's do the next one.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Username, in your shoe.
I poo in your
I
shoe.
poo in your shoe. Ass.
Oh, it's so good.
When should a small-scale hobby grower think about getting a soil test, and where should we go to find actionable information based on the soil test?
Okay.
Test results.
That's a really cool
I think
question.
we're biased.
Yeah.
I think you should always soil test. It's a cheap way to do it right. That's the best way to answer that. Actionable, the most actionable you're going to get is starting with whoever you're getting soil tests from. Now, it might not fully apply to the cannabis you're growing, but they see, you got to think about the amount of data they see. So to me, I would say use a company that soil tests and works with cannabis, so they see the same data that would help you out. That would be the route I would go.
Standard. Because, for example, our local extension, the college here, OSU, they if you tell them you're growing hemp, they're not going to really work with you very well. So
And
what we found is
it's a limited test.
Yeah, and it's very limited.
Yeah.
So to answer the first portion of that question, and let me see that so I can read it again. Thank you. And to answer the first portion of that question, I like to do it in between harvests.
I poo in your shoe. That was the
I
first
poo in
portion.
your shoe. It's a funny name. It's a good one. But yeah, we like to do it in between soil runs. Obviously, if you could be a little bit more detailed and get one early veg, or there's multiple is always better.
But one
if
a
you have to
cycle for a
choose
home
one,
grower.
and on a home grower cycle, I would do it in between runs or at the very beginning of your very first run. That way, you have somewhere to start, and you know where you're going. But again, in between runs.
Yep, 100%. I'd follow that up with throw a sap test in there.
Yes, and then a place to find actionable results again. For example, hate to toot our own horn, but if you send your soil test into us, we have our calculator that we worked really hard on making, and it actually has your heavy metals in
mind.
Yeah,
we calculate that.
And I pretty much
free.
give it to you.
And
It is free.
Yeah.
You just have to get the soil test, but the recommendation part is free.
Yeah.
And I give it to you and easy to understand. You'll get like a little recommendation form, and then it might have a couple grams of fishbone meal, for example, and then you multiply that by the square feet you have, then boom, you have your recommendation. It's really easy.
It is.
Okay, thank you.
Next
I
up.
poo in your shoe.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
I shoe.
I poo in your shoe.
And this username is JWBDA. Okay. The question is, what are your thoughts on having a static moisture level versus measuring dry bags?
Love this.
Versus measuring drybacks.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a really good one. So
It is.
I would rather have a kind of a standard moisture level. The reason being is because of microbiology in your soil. When some things get too dry, they go in a dormant stage.
Or die.
Yeah, or they'll just die off.
Yep.
And so then you're losing a lot of your workers, you know what I mean? The ultimate goal in no-till is to feed the soil and make sure your microbiology is working. And if you let it dry out, I mean, it would be the same as if you didn't have water.
Yep.
You would not be in good shape.
I feel like the dry back is a holdover from hydroponics.
It is. It is.
Because they do that and they believe in that. I don't know enough about hydroponics to know why they do that. But
little bit
we
of
know
hydroponics.
for a fact
they
if
do
you-
it so it can stretch, the roots can stretch.
I don't know. That sounds
find the water.
That sounds dumb. I
don't
wouldn't want
know.
to do that.
I don't know.
But you can verify in soil if you dry it out too much. We can look at it and we can see you killed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
You
it
can look
doesn't.
under a
It makes no
microscope,
sense
see
to have a
all
dry
this
back.
dormant or dead
That's why
microbiology.
you should be using this.
Yeah,
So that you always have.
coincidentally, that's
Yep.
the giveaway today
Yep.
is an aerometer to help with moisture content
Yep.
in your soil to maintain that so you're not having issues of killing off your microbiology.
Yep.
Is that
100%.
question?
Weird. J-Dub.
Thank you, J-Dub.
Yeah.
That was solid.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
next
a great
question is
actually.
from Third Eye Pry. Okay, the question is, why would anyone I think this person meant to say choose soil that wasn't from Redbud Soil Company?
Did you set us up with that
Yeah,
one?
I know. For real. First off,
What?
Was that random? This is supposed to be random.
No, he chose. Yeah, it was random.
No, I mean, it's random from here.
So what's the username?
Third Eye Pry.
Oh,
So-
that's me. No,
So
I'm
Third Eye
just-
Pride, we'll send you that $100. Thank you. No, I think the real answer to that is shipping soil across the country is stupid.
Yeah, it sucks, dude. We have to break people's hearts all the time and just be like, man, unfortunately, we obviously would love to do this, and if you want to go forward, we absolutely will, but it can be so expensive. And
It is.
recently, these past couple of years with shipping soil and COVID,
It
the
makes
whole
sense
nine,
for a
it's been
commercial
rough.
grower because they have so much on the line. But I think for most home growers, you can find a way to make your own soil or find something locally. There's so many soil companies
Yeah,
now
or if you
local.
watch our little SOP videos or our
Yep.
tent grow videos, I tell you how we do it, and you can get a base, find a mix that you like to do, and then just get soil testing and sap
Yep.
testing, and you're good.
It
You'll be
literally,
fine.
yeah. I mean, you could throw your base together, take a sample, send it to somebody like us. Because we do this. With
Yeah, this
people.
is what we do
Yeah.
on the daily.
Send it in. We say, hey, reamend with this, boom. Now you just have an awesome soil for.
Do we
nothing.
do the same thing with sap testing?
Yep.
We
But
do
I mean,
recommendation.
ultimately, you should buy your soil from us because.
Yeah,
awesome.
if you would like to, yeah, it's the bee's knees.
Yeah.
There's that.
Thank you.
Next one.
Okay,
Yeah,
next question
cry.
is Papa Lintus. Okay. What? This question. The question is, what companies do you completely stay away from or would never work with?
This is a bait question.
Oh, I love it. This is
Yeah.
so good.
What companies would I stay away from?
Oh!
and
Or
never
would
work with?
never work with?
Companies that are absolutely not honest.
That's so good.
I don't
What
know
does
if
that
they're
mean?
looking for a specific name or anything
I think,
like
I
that.
think they're looking
but
for specific names, which
I'm not that style.
No,
not
no.
that style.
I think that's commendable. That's a great question.
Very funny.
I appreciate that question. I think that they want us to name companies that we think are trash, and I don't think we should do that.
What if we did the exact opposite?
Ooh. I have a better idea. No, that's too positive. Here, I'll say this. Instead of worrying about companies, I would say I can think of 4 influencers right now at the top of my head that we see their customers come in here every day and fail for heavy metals, and they're lying to you on social media about it. I'll leave it at that.
So your answer is social media influencers
Yes.
in this industry.
Yes, and
Okay.
I can think of 4 right now, and I know he knows the same 4.
Yeah.
We see the testing, we talk to them. We had a guy in here not too long ago that was on his 3rd round and hadn't passed a round yet, still trying to use the info he got from this person that is educated and popular on social media. And we had to talk him out of continuing to go down that road because it was, I don't know.
Look,
Why
we
would you
really
keep doing
focus on data. Data.
Exactly.
We talk via our experience
Exactly.
and our real personal data that we've
Exactly.
gotten, and we'll tell you, this data came from a 10 grow. This came from a commercial grow. But yeah, we try and stay truly as honest and as transparent as we can. For example, when we first posted this stuff on Reddit, we didn't think you guys were really interested. We were like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And so, of course, there's only 3 comments. We read 3 comments, But then when I woke up this morning, there's a lot more.
Got like 40.
And then we realized, okay, cool. Let's stick to this because they want to know. So,
Yeah.
long story short, transparency is key, and
I will admit
getting your
there's
own data is
there's a
best.
lot of shit to wade through.
Yeah.
And if you focus on collecting data, it doesn't matter what you'll know what you need, and it doesn't matter who sells it.
Yep. And it doesn't
So
matter how
if
it's
you're
sold.
if
There's
you're
great sales
following
pitches out
companies
there.
trying to pitch shit to you on YouTube, like, look, I use all these things, and you do it, and it's awesome. You're going about it the wrong way.
Yeah, because everybody's grow is different.
Yep.
Everybody's growing different strains. Hey, we might both be growing a Gorilla Glue, but maybe you got it from a different breeder, so it's a different cut, and it's not taking stuff up the same way.
Yep.
There's just so many variables to have a set system that's good for everybody. That's why if you watch our videos, we talk about getting soil testing, getting sap testing, and then working off of that. That way everybody can have the best of their own rather than following a set schedule. Because again, we see all this stuff, and we get lots of sap testing done. We have customers come in here,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you, their sap test is not at all what they thought it was going to be, especially when you compare it to a soil test. It's different. So it blows holes in all different types of regimens. So
right.
again, transparency is what we look for.
And you're being lied to.
Yeah, everybody. I guess everybody lies.
Great question.
Yeah, that was a
awesome
good
question.
question. You're baiting Papa Plintus.
Okay,
Next
next
one.
question.
I'm a lot nicer than that. It's fine.
Username Big Jake 135. What is the most prolific bro science that you would like to debunk? Example: flushing, 24-hour dark period before harvest, no topping autos,
Oh man,
etc.
that's so tough.
Man, can I just say what came off the top of my head?
I have one too. Go.
Stop listening to Coot.
Yeah.
Dude, like 10, 15 years ago on the forums, that shit was so smart and everybody was like wowed by it. But we got data now to prove.
Yeah,
We see it every day. And I'm
data
not trying to be
is
a hater
crucial,
on Coot.
man.
I think he's super smart, dude, reads a lot. But like, we see the data every day that it will get you in trouble.
Yeah, and I mean, as growers and as our technology and all that stuff has gotten better, we've gotten better. So it's
Yep.
just somewhat of an
It's just
outdated
advancement.
formula. The craziest one I've heard of was via a phone call one time, and they wanted to know how to adjust the humidity of their room, and they had some walls or whatever. Long story short, they asked if they could take a blowtorch and run it up and down their walls, and that might change the humidity on a consistent level. And
This is funny to
the
us
biggest
because
bro
we hear
science
him
thing.
on the phone.
All
trying
day.
to-
All day.
Again, and I'm real nice. I'm very patient with people.
Yeah.
I'll let them finish what they're talking about.
All day.
But yeah, that's the most prolific one. A person,
Yeah.
they had these walls. They thought they could burn a little bit to change the base humidity of their grow. And I told them not to.
You saved their lives.
Yeah, I hope, man. I hope.
You're a fucking
Sometimes
hero.
I tell people things
You're
and they
a fucking
think I'm
hero.
lying. And so I just hope they believed me.
But you definitely don't need to flush. And what was the other one? 24-hour dark period before you flower or
24
after or whatever. You don't need to do that shit either.
Yeah. Commercial. I mean, dude, think about commercial grows, man. They just
don't do
don't
any
have
of that stuff.
time for all that
Yeah.
stuff. It's not
They don't at all.
practical. It isn't practical.
They don't at all.
All right.
Now I got all the coot haters after me.
Yeah,
Coot
that's gonna be
lovers.
so funny.
The coot lovers.
Go after him, man.
It's fine.
I'm neutral. I'm just playing.
Coot's fine. He's a smart dude.
Yeah.
Okay, next question
talking
is by, this is my favorite question actually. Re AU6E. WTF is an aerometer.
What the F is an aerometer?
Why would I need one?
That's cool.
That's an aerometer.
That is an aerometer.
Why would you need it? Because you're watering wrong. 100% you're watering wrong. Without this, you're watering wrong.
Yeah, man,
There's no question about it. When you watch influencers and they're doing all this, like, I've got this much volume of
I
soil,
follow them on this too.
and I've
I
got
really
this
check
much
them out.
volume of water, and we do this. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Use this.
So,
use that.
and then
That's
there's
it.
like other brands of essentially what an aerometer
tensiometer.
does.
It's a tensiometer.
There's other brands, but this one is truly built for agriculture, and
is.
you can be rough with it.
Yep.
And we just see great results and the consistency of them.
Yep.
It's awesome.
I mean,
So-
let's reference the tent up here. So is that 2 weeks into flower?
Yeah, we're 2 weeks into flower of our white truffle. We haven't grown it before in terms of this cultivar.
And if you went off what you average, you'd say like we have these 16-ounce cups roughly.
Yeah.
We give 4
Yeah.
of them.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we're in 2 weeks into flower now. It's already to 8, and it looks like we're gonna. That's today. We put 8 in there, so then it looks like we might need to do more later on. We wouldn't know that
Yeah.
if we weren't using this. We would do the 4, maybe 5, and we
Yeah.
think it's great.
And
And it's half as much as you
maybe
need.
you're watering just enough to where your plants aren't drooping over.
Yep.
But then you'll see like weird, they'll be lighter, yellow. They'll just look funky. And
Yep.
a lot of it, believe
Or
it or
that
not,
thick
with all the
texture
data
on-
we have,
thick
isn't in
texture on
excess
leaves.
or deficiency. It is just simply bad watering.
Yep.
And this is what that helps you with. And if you guys don't know how to set this up, he actually has an old YouTube video.
I do.
On the YouTubes. And he tells you how to set it up. So if you win this, watch that video if you don't know how to set it
Yeah.
up.
That's what the fucking aerometer is.
Yeah, what the effing aerometer is.
I think apart from that though, coordination among us when we're watering, because we have different tents.
Yes,
we have
actually,
outdoor
that
gardens.
is a good point of view. So whenever you're working, let's say you're running a grow or you're a part of a grow and you use this thermometer. Well, if I water and we all decide to keep it between 10 and 15, that means Greg could come over here and be like, "Oh, I don't need to water today." So we obviously should have good communication, just talking wise, but
Yep.
it's another safety net.
It is.
To where I'm not watering, he comes 2 hours or an hour after me and then does the same amount, and now our stuff is way overwatered.
Yep.
So it's a good prevention a little bit there too.
It really is.
Great question.
Yeah, that was
It
that
is.
was a really good question. Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
Rare. I don't know how to do that.
Next question. The
Yeah.
username is nasty17.
Nice. Hell yeah. What's this one talking about?
It's a long one. Okay.
Oh gosh.
I see a lot of people
She
using
said.
Blue Mat auto watering systems, but I have also heard people say that those systems make for dry spots in the middle of the grow bed and weak roots since they don't have to reach down for water. Is this mostly false? I'm trying to figure out the best watering system for a 4x4 bed. Thanks.
Ooh, that's a long question. Let me
Yeah,
see
That's a
that.
lot.
I'll need to
First off,
reread that.
I would say the short
Nasty,
answer
nasty.
is we work with mostly commercial growers up to this point. The commercial growers we have, I can only think of 1 or 2 that still use blue mats that tried them out.
I got one in my head.
Because they basically, I wouldn't see dry pockets as much as they would keep flooding and
Yeah,
flooding and flooding and flooding.
The worst combination is no mulch layer and blue mats.
Yeah.
From what I've seen.
Yeah.
It is an immediate
Yeah.
recipe to cause that top layer to turn into concrete. Now you're dealing with fungus gnats. Now you're dealing with an anaerobic pocket, like just a layer.
Yeah.
So you're just dealing with bad guys all the time. Blue mats, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if they will send me something bad or something. I do not
Hard
mess
pass.
with them, dude. Yeah, hard pass.
Hard pass.
Again, an aerometer is really cool. If you want to be really lazy about it, you can just set up an old school drip irrigation system, and
You can
Now
do
you
it.
just
Well,
gotta
you
fill the
could.
reservoir.
You could. Well, you don't even have to do that. If you could pipe in a drip irrigation system, have a valve on it, look at your aerometer, open up the valve, let it drip, watch your aerometer, gets down to where you want it to be. After 30 to 60 days, you'll know how long, and you can start timing it. So you'd be able to go in and you'd be able to turn that valve on, go work around the garden, do some other shit, and set a timer, come back, turn it off, and that's like a pseudo-automated way that won't flood it and won't be too dry.
Yeah, yeah. No, there's definitely better ways than blue mats that I've absolutely seen.
Yeah.
But if you insist on using blue mats, please, for the love of God, use a mulch layer.
And
Like
use
the worst.
this to let you know if it's working right or not.
Yeah,
and move it,
I mean,
and move it around.
Because there's
don't just keep
there's
it
stuff
in the
that's
same
finicky.
spot.
I've seen the grow that I know of is using it. It works really well for them. But the sheer amount of grows I help, that is the only guy. That is the only guy, and it's it's not a big grow. So I don't recommend those. I would look into making your own.
Dude, I'd
or
hand water
keep
before
it
I'd
old
use-
school
I'd
and
hand
hand
water before
water.
I'd use a
Yeah,
blue
just
mat.
keep it old school, man, and hand water.
Yeah.
On a tent that size, 4x4, I just hand water.
Yep.
Okay.
Next one.
Username, who are you? 559. Question is, how many times can you re-amend soil before needing to start over?
Ooh,
That's
it's
a
not,
great question.
It's see, okay, is it indoor? Is it outdoor? Is it soilless media? Is it native soil? So I mean, native soil you can do it forever. Indoor, I would say the limiting factor is not re-amending it. It's at some point it's going, if you're using worms, which you will be, it'll turn into all castings. And that's going to vary on how many worms you have, the environment, pot size, all that kind of stuff. And you could definitely get to a point where you need to pull out what's in there and say maybe use that as your compost for your next
That's
round,
actually
or
a
even
good idea.
or
You
even
could
go
do that.
50-50. You pull it out after 5, 7, 10 years, whatever that is. It will vary, and mix it with your new, because you have all the good shit you want.
Yeah, and again, you can only re-amend one time, and that re-amending is way too much. Maybe you put a crap ton of boron in it, and now
And then you screwed
should
yourself.
just get new soil.
Yeah. Yep.
So that is very.
There's no set time.
Yeah, there's not a set time. That's
No.
a very big asterisk next to any answer given on that one.
And outdoors infinite.
Outdoor is infinite, and especially with Dr. Lane, she'll say you don't need to do it at all. But there's asterisks to everything.
That shit's
There's
that shit's just wacky.
There's asterisks to everything, and yeah, dude, that's another reason why we go with the philosophy of you can always add, but you can't take away.
Yes.
Because, like we said and before, living soil, it can be expensive. On that first run, you're buying
can.
fresh soil. Maybe you didn't make it, so you're buying it. It could be a little bit more expensive. And so if you were to re-amend without a soil test, just maybe you top dress every 2 weeks.
Or every week, because there's somebody gave you a schedule and you bought every product on that schedule.
Maybe you do that every week.
Yeah.
That could be a major recipe as to why you won't make it to round 2 on your soil. It's just too far gone. It would be easier to re-amend or to just
I would
restart.
say people screw up their soil more, like a lot quicker than it would actually just be done naturally.
Yeah, where it's just purely nothing else
Yep.
is left in there.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you got microbiology.
And people are just over-loving and adding too much crap.
Speaking of, we see that a lot. People just
number
overlove
one.
their
Yeah.
soil, and then it will turn into everything is so high on a soil test, and it's just you really need to hit the drawing boards and see if you want to stick to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a big asterisk, but depends on how you re-amend.
Yep. Next.
Last question.
Last
Cool.
question.
Okay, username power saving 2640 asks, what are some good companion plants for cannabis? What are some good organic ways for pest management?
Well, that's like two questions.
It is 2 questions. You snuck one in there
Yeah.
on us.
I think companion. I like the fact that he said companion planting, because I like to think of planting other plants with cannabis as companions, and not. I mean, yes, it can technically be a cover crop, but I'm looking at more for that like symbiotic relationship, and that other plants like to be around other plants. So that being said, I would always say, where are you at? What region are you in? What is popular? Yeah, what's native to your area that like. If I took this plant and I stuck it outside and there was no people here, what would grow around it?
Yeah. Because
That's
those things
where I
they'll
start.
put out, they're putting out exudates asking for a certain microbe to answer. And those microbes, especially when it's being a native species of like grass or whatever, will bring up the native microbiology. And kind of similar to what we were talking about with the hay situation. Local is best in gardening and just
It
period.
is.
It's just
It is.
best. Native
And
is best.
that's why we use a lot of grasses, or I personally use grasses. But I think he was trying to tie in with the IPM and the plants and using things like, basil and
Yeah,
mint
to
and all
keep it
that kind of
away.
stuff to try to keep them
Yeah,
away. I mean, you
hardly.
can do that. That's great. I've never seen any effectiveness in doing any of that.
Yeah, I mean, and on top of that, I would just add bugs. We're big on
Predators,
adding,
yeah.
adding predators.
Totally.
We're really big on that. And if you have,
Right there.
yeah,
yeah.
it's kind of off camera. Here we go. Yeah, praying mantis, good
Those are
level
cool.
1 bug right there.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Actually, those I would say they're like level 2 because like ladybugs are cool, but you'll see them just hanging out in the corner doing nothing. While praying mantis are trying to just murder without
really
remorse.
are.
They hate everything.
They're fucking savage.
Yeah, they are. They're cool,
fucking
man. They're fun to
savage.
watch, and
They are.
things like that is the best way for pest management.
But I would like to add, keep in mind when you're adding cover crops or companion plants or whatever, that you're adding another layer of plants that you now have to manage pests on. And that's the number one thing I see people fuck up with,
Yeah.
is they're focusing on their cannabis and they're doing things to keep pests away, but now they brought in these new vectors that are going to bring different pests, and then they're going to overpopulate that and then spread up to your cannabis. And so you just have to keep that in mind when using any other plants. But I personally haven't seen much effectiveness with growing herbs and shit with cannabis. I mean, it smells good and you can use it in your cooking,
yeah.
but other than that,
Yeah.
all right,
Well, it's time.
that's it.
Yeah, that's it. All right, let's see.
I think that
Shake it up or something.
that was halfway okay. Let's see who wins.
thermometer, the hat.
Hang on, I feel like. Here, you pick.
Me
Let's
pick?
make, yeah, like for real. I don't want anybody to say.
I hope it's the what the F is an arometer guy.
I
It's
agree.
not. What are your thoughts on having a static moisture level versus
Nice. There you
measuring
go.
dry That's a good one. J-Dub
J-Dub BDA.
Yeah, J-Dub
You're the
BDA,
winner.
You win the first one.
Yep.
Good job.
So we're gonna end up
Must be
posting
proud.
this video on YouTube. We're gonna also post it on NoTillGrowery on Reddit per the mod's request. And J-Dub BDA.
Yep.
If you will send me a DM with your name, shipping address, phone number, and an email.
Yo, have our boy Nick
Yeah,
send it out to
we'll
you.
get this. Yeah, we'll get this sent out to you ASAP.
Yeah.
And thank you all for all the. I mean, it was awesome
Yeah,
questions.
and so what we're also going to do is we're going to post these questions that we had in the comments.
Yep.
And if you guys have a better
the
answer or
description.
your own, in the description,
Yep.
and you guys have a better answer or just your own version of an answer.
Yeah.
Put it, and if we like it enough, we'll just talk about it a little bit on our next video, just to give you a little
Yeah.
shout out and stuff.
And if you're mad that I said don't listen to Coot, put it in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. Any reaction is better than no reaction.
And if you're not subscribed to us, subscribe to us. Please like this video. It helps, spread it around. We are trying to do more of these videos where we don't show cannabis because we get age restricted automatically. There's a lot of people out there that don't get age restricted, and I don't know how they're getting away with it, but we do. And so that does help us out. And if you're not following us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram. And we appreciate everybody participating. And, wait around.
Yeah,
That was
we'll
fun.
have more. We'll have more
it's cool.
coming.
Yeah,
Man. We'll have more coming. That
We've
was
got
nice.
more episodes coming, definitely.
Yeah,
Thanks.
good job, J-Dub.